This is Shanika Briggs. I attend Cheyney University of Pennsylvania. I am an English major in my junior year. I am interviewing Dr. Clyde Ledbetter on May 3rd, 2016 at the Leslie Pinckney Hill Library in Cheyney, Pennsylvania. This interview is being recorded as a part of the Inclusive Future Faculty Initiative sponsored by the Frederick Douglass Institute Collaborative of Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. The interview is being recorded on a Nikon Coolpix camera. Hello.
Good afternoon.
What is your full name?
Clyde Ledbetter Jr.
What is your department rank and what university are you currently employed at?
I'm an adjunct instructor at Cheyney University of Pennsylvania.
How long have you worked at this university?
Been here for 3 years.
How long have you been employed as a professor?
5 years.
What made you decide to go to graduate school to pursue a terminal degree?
I knew I wanted to teach, and I knew I wanted to teach in higher education. So I knew I had to get a PhD. So that was kind of, yeah.
At what point did you decide to become a professor?
I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. But then when I found out about this thing called academic freedom, which is different, if you're teaching K through 12, you have to stick to the curriculum that's given to you. But as a college professor, you have academic freedom, so you can teach whatever you want within your subject as long as it meets the course requirements. You have control over the curriculum. So that's when I decided I want to teach college, to have that type of control.
What college or graduate school experiences contributed to you deciding to become a professor?
That's a good question. Well, first, I attended the first historically black college in the United States, Lincoln University of Pennsylvania, which I graduated from in 2007 with a degree in political science, and I had great mentors there. Then I went on to Temph University for my master's and PhD in African American Studies. And again, I had great mentors and professors there. And currently I'm attending the University of Oxford, and having that international experience has really showed me how people learn around the world and where people are coming from, whether it be Asia, Africa, and different teaching styles, and how to incorporate that here at Chaney to make it competitive internationally.
What are your responsibilities as a faculty member?
Okay, first responsibility is to instruct our classes, to make sure that we are using the most up-to-date pedagogy to get our message across to students in terms of the subject material. That's our first responsibility. Also, we have to hold office hours, talk to students, and mentor students. We have faculty responsibilities, things like assessment, working together as colleagues to make sure our department is straight, and other things like that. So those are the primary responsibilities.
What is a day in the life of a professor like?
So it's a lot of research because you have to keep up with whatever field you're in. I'm in African American Studies and political science, so I have to keep up with what's going on in both of those fields, most current research. You have to, again, keep up with the most current ways of teaching, whether that's incorporating new technology into the classroom or distance learning or flipped classrooms, all these things. You have to keep up with all of that. So a lot of the day is just reading and researching and figuring out what's going on. You also have to spend a portion of the day talking to students. If you don't know your students, if you don't provide them with mentorship, then you're only doing half of your job. Then, of course, there's meetings, which could be not the most fun thing in the world, faculty meetings that last for 2 hours. And then after all that, you might have to talk somewhere. You might have to give a talk at a conference, or you're invited to speak by students or by the university as a whole. So you have to prepare for things like that. So it almost never stops. Then you get to sleep. But then you have dreams about the things that you have to do the next day. So it never stops.
What would you describe as some of the benefits of being a professor?
Getting to work with students like yourself, seeing someone come in as a freshman and leave as a senior, and the growth and knowing that you had something to do with that, and then seeing them succeed in graduate school or professional school or employment, whatever it is that they want to do, that's the ultimate benefit. The challenge of it is also a benefit, because you have to get to know different types of people, whether that's colleagues, whether it's students, whether it's administration. So that challenge is fun. So that's a benefit to me of being a professor.
What is your area of research? What are you passionate about in terms of research?
My overall area is African American Studies and African Studies. My particular focus is human rights. So I'm passionate about human and people's rights of Afro-descendant people and African people. Those are my primary areas here.
Why do you think that there are so many misconceptions surrounding the professor?
Probably media. I mean, most people, when they think about college, they think about what they see in movies and TV. So there's always a professor with those, with a tweed jacket on and the patches, and they're smoking a pipe, and they're on a big chalkboard talking to 500 people. That's what I thought college was like. I thought every college class was an arena class. And they're not. You may have that your freshman year for the larger classes, but when you get down to your major classes, you have 30, 20 students, and it's a lot more intimate, and we're not these intellectuals in a room somewhere writing equations on a wall and reading 1,000 books, and we have no personalities. Most of us are pretty good people, pretty cool. Most of us. Some people are like that, but for the most part, professors are people too. We have families, we laugh, we joke, we don't just sit around grading students, and we want students to succeed. We don't want to fail people, we don't want to trick people, we want them to learn what they can so they can leave this place better than they were when they came in.
Would you like to offer your opinion on any of these misconceptions?
Yeah, I just think more professors need to do things like this where we actually get to talk about what it's like to be a professor, so that students won't have that media understanding of what a professor is. It might make things a little less scary for students when they have to come to our office and talk to us, and they don't think it's, oh no, I'm in trouble, or Dr. So-and-so is out to get me. Yeah.
Do you think it is important for more underrepresented minorities to become professors? Why or why not?
Yeah, I think it's important because we're having a more diverse student base with a student base that wants more, to see more of themselves in the curriculum, and I think minority professors more often than not provide that. But instead of just having more bodies, I would like to have more professors that understand what truly multicultural education is, what an anti-sexist education is, so we can incorporate all of our students and not just give them a curriculum that's coming from one perspective, whether that be a European perspective, whether that be a male perspective, or anything. So we need everybody represented so students can see themselves in the professorate, in the curriculum, so that they could really appreciate the college experience.
Is there anything I did not ask that you would like to add?
No, I think those were good questions. Yeah.
Well, thank you for agreeing to do this interview.
No problem.
It was an honor.